Blooming. This is World Cup Daily from Stoppage Time News, everything you missed overnight in one sitting. Coming up, the shock of the tournament so far, as debutants Cape Verde hold the European champion Spain to a goalless draw. Iran's dramatic 2-2 with New Zealand is overshadowed by claims they were ordered to leave the United States straight after the game. And on the wire, the summer window swings open with business already done. It's Tuesday, the 16th of June. Let's get into it. Arthur here, and Groups G and H opened up overnight with the favourites left stumbling. We start in Atlanta, and the result that has gone around the world. Spain, the European champions, held to a goalless draw by World Cup debutants Cape Verde. The Islanders' 40-year-old goalkeeper Vozinha produced the performance of his life, and there is much more on that astonishing story in a moment. Down in Miami, another heavyweight frustrated as two-time world champions Uruguay were held 1-1 by Saudi Arabia. The Saudis looked set for a famous win until Maxi Araujo struck late to rescue a point, with goalkeeper Mohamed Al-Owais their hero. In Seattle, Belgium were pegged back to a 1-1 draw by Egypt. Imam Ashur fired the Pharaohs in front with a superb strike, only for a second-half own goal to deny Egypt a first-ever World Cup victory, with Romelu Lukaku making his presence felt off the bench. And in Los Angeles, the game of the night, Iran twice came from behind to draw 2-2 with New Zealand. Elijah just put the All-Whites ahead on both occasions, but Ramin Rezaian and Mohamed Mohebi hauled Iran level. 4 matches, 4 draws, and a tournament that keeps humbling the favourites. But the night's biggest story was written by the smallest nation. And that brings us to the story of the day, because what Cape Verde did in Atlanta belongs in World Cup folklore. One of the smallest nations ever to grace these finals walked out against the European champions and simply refused to blink. At the heart of it was goalkeeper Vozinha, 40 years old, who produced save after save to keep Spain out, while defender Roberto Pico Lopes, a regular for League of Ireland side Shamrock Rovers, marshalled a backline that would not break. The BBC report wild celebrations back in the capital Praia, where supporters described it as the greatest feeling of their lives, and there were emotional scenes at full time as players sank to the turf. For Spain, it is a stumble and a warning. For Cape Verde, it is a single precious point that already feels like a victory, and a reminder of exactly why this tournament can capture the world. Kate, what's moving on the wire?
Thanks, Arthur. And the usual reminder before we start, unless a club has officially confirmed it, everything on the wire is a report, not a done deal. We do begin with one that is done, though, as the BBC report that midfielder Weir has signed for Lyon, the beaten Champions League finalists. On to the genuine rumors, and Tottenham are busy. Both Sky Sports and the Mirror report that Spurs have entered the race for Newcastle midfielder Sandro Tonali, a player also said to be admired at Arsenal and Manchester United. Staying with England forwards, the BBC say Marcus Rashford's future is up in the air again after Barcelona chose not to trigger a £26 million option to sign him permanently. And there is movement at Chelsea, where the Standard report the Blues are planning 2 major signings this summer, with the money banked from selling Marc Cucurella to Real Madrid going straight back into Xabi Alonso's transfer kitty. Plenty of smoke, little yet signed. The window is well and truly open. Let's rattle through the rest. Quick hits before I hand back. The fallout from Iran's draw has dominated the off-field headline. The Independent report that Iran say they were ordered to leave the United States immediately after the match, while head coach Amir Gelanoy, quoted by Sky Sports and the BBC, called his side the most oppressed team at the World Cup after a ban on the country's pre-revolutionary flag was upheld and sections of the Los Angeles crowd booed the anthem. Elsewhere, Tunisia have wasted no time, the BBC reporting they have sacked Sabri Lamouchi after just 1 game, a 5-1 defeat to Sweden, and turned to the World Cup cult hero Hervé Renard. In the England camp, the Football Association's chief executive Mark Bullingham has confirmed that Thomas Tuchel's contract extension includes a performance clause. Over in Brazil, miserable night for Neymar, left in tears as Santos were thrashed 6-0 by Vasco da Gama, a result that cost coach Kleber Xavier his job, and Ghana's government has filed a court challenge over Canada's refusal to grant Thomas Partey a visa. Back to you, Arthur.
So, what is coming up? The defending champions are back in action as Argentina begin their title defense against Algeria, with Julian Alvarez and Lautaro Martinez expected to feature. There is a heavyweight clash too. France against Senegal, and Iraq face Norway with all eyes on Erling Haaland and Martin Odegaard. But for many watching at home, the big one is England's opener against Croatia, and a familiar tormentor in Luka Modric lining up against them one more time. Bukayo Saka has admitted he is taking a fitness gamble to be involved. We'll have shorts through the day as it happens, and we are back here tomorrow morning with everything you missed overnight. That's World Cup Daily. Stoppage time news before the final whistle.